Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, my garage is an absolute mess. I've been working literally nonstop on this thing. I haven't even had time to clean it. Days, weeks, well, not weeks, a little over a week. I'm still sporting a bunch of war wounds. That's pretty gross. Some on the outside, too. It's like a bruised piece of fruit. Since circle track racers have a bunch of neuroses and, are extraordinarily paranoid, we don't show a lot of what we do with the suspension on our cars because we don't want to give away our secrets. But I'm no different. Let's be fair. So I've been working absolutely nonstop on trying to get the suspension fixed because I found a lot of broken stuff, bent stuff, binds in the rear end, just really bad things. But I want to get this thing done before I really have to start worrying about being ready on time. I still have at least 2 weeks, I think. As of today, yeah, 2 weeks. Not bad. So I've been finding bent control arm, bent ball joints, bent bolts, you name it, I'm finding these parts. I mean, I'm going through this thing with a fine-tooth comb, and when you're working on something yourself, because that's just what you do. That's just what I do. I'll clarify that. Obviously, I could call people for help, but I'm stubborn. Sorry. Anyway, I'm getting to the point where I'm hoping I can get the damage repair done and take you guys along because my neuroses does not trigger when I'm not showing suspension parts. So why don't we get to work, because there's a lot of damage to repair, I'll be honest. So as you can see, there's still no fender on this thing. Door's still kind of caved in here. Nose looks could be worse. I've still got to heat this thing up and reshape it. I still have to fix this bar here to hold the hood pin and the front of the fender and the nose on. I got duct work for the radiator that I have to fix. Brake line or brake hose that I have to put on. Right front doesn't seem too bad. I still got to go through the bearings in the front end because I'm just worried that I hurt them. I pounded this fender back out. She looks not too bad. Good enough for who it's for. I did pound the wall pretty good down the right side, as you remember. Well, you can't really see it, but it's there. I'm not going to do anything but pull that number saver off because it's the last race and this body's 3 years old. Who the hell cares at this point? It needs to be changed anyway. I changed the radiator because I wasn't sure if it was plugged up or not because I've been getting overheating problems. I changed the water pump as well because I tried it and it didn't seem to help with my overheating problem either. I changed a whole bunch of crap, just nothing that really matters with speed. It's all longevity and other issues. So we better get to work on the damage, like I said, because that's not going to fix itself. And I'll take you along for that as long as I cover up all my secrets. No, we're good. So I forgot to mention that my hood got ripped off too. I'm pretty sure I might have said that. Not quite sure how I'm going to fix that yet. I don't want to buy a fiberglass repair kit, like a Bondo one, because I think they're like really expensive for what they are. I might just go out and buy some epoxy, like 2-part epoxy and a paintbrush, and like sand all this crap off and I don't know, just stick the thing back together with some clamps and paint some epoxy on it and sand it out and paint it and just send it up the road. I forgot to mention, I got to show you this. This is an incomplete set, obviously, but this is my torch setup that I finally put together. Get this crap out of here. It's just a cheap Chinese eBay torch, right? And it came with the regulators and stuff. It was super cheap. See, pretty cheap. I went out and got an oxygen bottle. It's only like a 10 or 20 or whatever. And I got an acetylene bottle. Pay no attention to the other one that was just next to it. See, I got an acetylene bottle. I think that's a 10. The other one's a 20. But the regulator set that I had, well, it's not here, obviously. It's probably over there somewhere for no good reason. Nope, I'm sorry. It's right here. I'm an idiot. Anyway, pay no attention to this setup, okay? Now, what I used to have was this set right here behind this old radiator that I haven't put away or fixed yet. Oh, geez. Is this old ancient Craftsman, oxyacetylene kit. Now, this thing is obviously one of them old portable kits and stuff, but this is nowhere even close to the size of the ones that come out today. The ones that come out today are those, 20, 10, and 20s, like those. This one is like a paintball gun tank of oxygen. I don't even know how old this thing is. It's a 7 cubic foot bottle of oxygen, and it came with literally what you would get if you bought a propane, like if you're a plumber and you bought a propane tank with a little trigger nozzle on the end of MAP gas. See, it says Sears, quality you can trust. There's probably not even a website on this thing. It's so old. I know I sound like a millennial, but moving on. The torch set that I had, this eBay one, it fits the oxygen bottle, but obviously it's not going to fit this because it's got the 510 setup. That doesn't fit. So I had to get a conversion for it, and I needed to fix my car. So what I did was I had that old kit there, and it has these regulators and stuff for those old oxygen tanks. And I'm like, well, okay, so we need a fuel tank. I took the regulator off for the MAP gas, stuck it on here, ran it to this hose, because actually they're the same size, and I got a working torch kit, and I fixed the bent parts in the front end of my car with it. So as you can probably tell, that bumper's a little bent down and obviously caved in here. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Or if I'm just going to cut it off and hope for the best for the last race of the year. It's probably what I'm going to end up doing. But I'm thinking I might grab my ghetto torch there, see if it's got any gas left in it at all. Just kind of heat up around here, grab the old jack and block, and lift it up and see if I can get that thing at least straightened out enough. I can see the welds cracked here. I don't know if I got any welding gas left either, but I'm going to give it a shot just to tighten her up again, just so I don't have any problems last race. There's one thing I know about cosmetics. There's one saying that I live by. It's good enough for who it's for. I'll probably grind that thing down so there's no sharp edge here. And I mean, this part from here forward is really what matters. And then all of that is fine. So, good enough. So I'm moving on to this mangled piece of fender, whatever's left of it. And I got this one all cleaned up, ready to go on. Now what's interesting is when I created these fenders, you can see that they're two-piece. Like there's a top here, so it's supposed to be like this. And then the skin rivets to it. And that's exactly where this one came from. It came from this exact top that I built. And so I'm going to just knock the rivets off of this thing, hammer this thing back into some semblance of shape, clamp it back to that one, and chuck a bunch of rivets in it, and hope for the best. I'm wondering if I should just paint that first or not, but I don't think it really matters. I'll just throw a piece of tape over it and just spray it with some spray. professional. This fender looks pretty good. Even outside. Oh well. Why was this sitting outside? It's a nice fender. Got like 2 dents in it. Like I said, good enough for who it's for. The thing looks brand new for my standards, especially compared to this thing. Oh. So it's nighttime. I haven't eaten yet. I got a lot of stuff to do in the house. I'm gonna call it for the night. I got all day tomorrow to do this, so I'll catch back up with you all tomorrow. All right, it's day 2 of filming. Obviously not day 2 of how much work I've been putting into this car, but we've been finding all sorts of stuff. It's been crazy the amount of stuff that I've been finding. It's been bent or broken or missing or something's just been weird about this car. I mean, here, I'm gonna actually show you. I actually took a look at this left front upper control arm and it's bent. I kind of hammered it back into place and I'm like, well, you'll be a good spare. If I wreck bad enough that I actually need to use one of those, it'll get me on the racetrack, is this. There's a crack right here. It's not really focusing on it. Down this AN fitting. Yeah, I know my bench is a mess. What do you want from me? I haven't had time to clean. This is my power steering feed line that I've been using. But this end is jacked up. I don't know what happened here, but it's all frayed and worn out, and I don't know why, because there's nothing touching it. It's just weird. And the AN fitting is like sun drenched, which is hilarious because it's under the hood. There's nothing under there to drench it. It's probably chemical drenched, whatever. And it's cracked, and it's like, I wondered why it was leaking. So I rummaged through the old parts bin. I found one of these. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just grab that off and we'll put that on the car. I mean, just a whole bunch of silly stuff. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I've never gone through my race car and found this many just little tiny things that have been falling apart. A ball joint with the bolts falling out, control arm bent, an upper mount bent, brakes that wouldn't retract all the way, a bent bumper arm, a cracked AN fitting, bad bushing in the rear, a rear U-joint that was like, it was missing something, or I don't know what the hell's going on. But it's just, this is owning a race car. This is the maintenance that you have to do. If I didn't care about this car, I wouldn't have found all this stuff. And this is little things too. Like, this is hard to find. Next on the agenda is my $5 unsponsored epoxy repair for my hood, because that's broken. You've seen that. And I'm taking absolutely no chances. Again, no sponsors. I'm putting all new wheel bearings in my car. I don't remember the last time I did it. And since both wheels took a hit, I'm just going to replace all of them. Now I run tool steel safety hubs on the front of my car, so I'm gonna basically not have to worry about those breaking instead of running like a stock brake rotor or hub assembly. I am going to go through and clean the spindles off completely with like brake clean and a brush and inspect them for cracks and everything, just because I don't know if I've done that in a long time or ever. And I saw somebody at Stafford this past weekend snap a spindle, so I'm going to make sure that that is not going to be an issue. So right back to work. All right, so in order to, pardon me, I'm using my TV remote as a pointer, get this bar across to fix the mount for the nose and the front fender, I've got to go get the front fender, mock it up here with some clamps, get it kind of put into place in some semblance of order, who knows. And I don't have any 1x1 square tubing, which is what I normally use for this type of stuff. As you can tell, it's been fixed a few times. But I got this giant square tubing that slips over it. I figured that'll be easier. Just kind of slide the thing on and figure out how far it needs to be. And I'm probably just going to do it by taking a tape measure and just kind of going an inch back or whatever here. And I'll probably just zip it on. I'll knock the nose off and throw it on 3 sides or whatever. And put a support out here, and then I'll tack a support up here from there. It's a street stock. You need to make it strong. That's lined up. I think we'll throw some tacks in it. Yeah, that can protect the radiator. I'm sure of it. We'll use another one. Not like my hands need protecting. They heal. Whoop. Alright, going again. You know, not bad for a crappy little Harbor Freight welder. I'll tell you what. I'm going to finish welding this, and then we're going to finalize putting the fender on, but you can see it's basically lined up. I still got to shove back a hair. I did put the fender on for the most part. I got it clamped here. It's in place here. I got it on the body mount here. It lines up because this is the same top piece, remember? You can see my tape job did just awesome. And yeah, she's almost ready to go back together cosmetically. Can't see nothing from that far away. But yeah, just got to go shove her in, finish these welds, and we'll be right back to it. Okay, so it's day 3 of filming. And we got a lot done yesterday. I got the nose back on. I got the duct cut for the front, but I got to finish the side ducting. I got the bumpers fixed. I got the supports done. I got the, well, why don't I show you? See, I got the fenders on here. Well, fender. It's all set to the door. Everything's all on. I got that done. Got my supports welded in, as you saw. Got the nose on. I got this front part cut up here because I'm having a little bit of overheating problems. So we got some more stuff to do. Okay, so this is broken. Easily seen there. So I don't know how to fix it other than getting some like Bondo, whatever, repair stuff. So I just got this. Well, the wife got it for me, at least. Some epoxy. Just no free ads, but just whatever we could grab at the Dollar General. I'm just going to mix it up, slap the stuff everywhere, and then I'm probably going to stick a, I don't know, 22-pound piece of lead on it with a piece of cardboard over it, and then sand off the remainder. See if that does anything. Alright, I switched over to the GoPro because I had it in my hand. It's been a few hours. I'm sure this is glued on both sides to it, but... Uh-oh. Well, I don't think it's set all the way.
What are you doing?
Trying to get this off and failing pretty horribly. Hang on. Oh, I think I gotta
What are you doing?
epoxying this. I think I gotta get over here a little bit more.
Beep.
That's helpful. No, I think I gotta get these and probably epoxy the backside, so I'm probably just gonna leave that. That's gross, but I'll paint over it and nobody will notice, I don't think. Alright, so I'm looking at my board here and I got a few things left from yesterday. I gotta do tranny seal because it looks like it's leaking out the front of my transmission, which I've already rebuilt. Which sucks because that should be sealed up, but I don't know if I took it apart and forgot to do that or something and then just never wrote it down. I don't know. I just don't want leaking oil to come and screw me in the end. I gotta finish the radiator ducting and then it's like set my tire sets and caster camber toe, fuel setup, all that stuff. So still a lot left. I didn't really realize how much damage or problems or however much was going on with this car until I tore into it after this latest incident or race or whatever. Both, doesn't matter. But I'm glad that I actually went through it. I want to have the best possible chance at not only winning the World Series, because that's really what I want to win, but winning the title. Even if it is only a 5-race title, we'll gloss over that. But I want the best possible chance, and I don't think I'd be doing a great disservice to me and my one sponsor, Jeremiah's Antiques in Putnam, Connecticut. Figured I'd get them in there. I'd be doing us a disservice by not giving the best I could, and so guess what? That's what we're gonna do. Okay, so it's been hours since I've last checked in. Still day 3. I've been using the GoPro here and there. I got a new one just so I'd have a different camera to use, especially while racing. I had a Hero 2. I just bought a Hero 8 Black because they were on sale. So maybe I'll get a little better quality videos for the racing parts, but I've been using them for like time lapses and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I saved you a bunch of the boring stuff. I mean, I had the, I took the wheel bearings apart and greased bearings and put seals in them. And I got the hood epoxy drying like I just showed you. I had the transmission out, which I've already had in a separate video. And I refreshed the fluid in that after fixing a seal because it was leaking everywhere. After the hood, it doesn't look great, but if it holds together, I really don't care. I'll just take some black spray paint and cover it up. But after that, I think all I really got to do is radiator duct work, some setup stuff like caster camber toe. I got to go stop and get some fuel. I have to figure out what tires I'm going to run for the setup and measure everything. And then this thing might be ready. So I think I'll end the video off there because I don't think you're really that interested in seeing every little nut and bolt that I turn. But I'll send this video out and then I'll start taking some shots of the final race week, which we're going to be at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. The World Series is 8th, 9th, and 10th of October, but we're only racing on the 9th. So that's probably the only day I'm going to show up. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you can. Share it with your friends. I just like to have some fun with this thing and share my love of racing with the world. So thank you all. I appreciate it.